Hi guys, I'm Vignesh. Now we are going to model this shell body in detail. Look at this curvy features, also the different types of views or clearly explain the dimensions in detail. Some of the dimensions may not given, but we are going to model relate to this dimensions itself. First, select a top line and create a new sketch. Draw two opposite circular profile. What is the dimensions for the circular profile? Before that, holding your control button, selecting a two opposite circle, then assign the equal dimensional constants. What's the value for this diameter is the innermost circle. If you look at the view, the innermost circular profile have the dimensions of 22 mm diameter. So the outermost circle must be 22 mm radius. Here we can able to give the diameter value. So just to mention 44 mm. Now select all center points. Relate to this origin, we are going to consider it horizontally. Afterwards, draw another circular profile at the center of its region. Assign the dimensions. The value is nothing but take a look on the 2D drawing. Here we have the dimensions for this circular profile. Tangential circular profile have the radius of 70 mm. So, if you look at the sections, here we can model a 70 mm diameter profile. Once it is drawn, then use the center line from the center point just to connecting the two opposite sections. Afterwards, what is the dimensions for this vertical line? It is have the dimensions nothing but the vertical dimension value. If you look at this small circular profile, have the dimensions of 16 mm. So relate to the 16 mm, I am going to mention it vertically. Then select a circular tangentially to make a tangential connections. Holding your control button, selecting a two opposite circular profile, make it into a tangential connection. Then draw one horizontal center line. Afterwards, I am going to pick this circular profile to mirror it from top sections to bottom section. Use and trim entities, remove excess entities, and form a complete closed profiles at this region. Exit the sketch right now. Using this profile, we can able to create a solid body. So select an extrude boss. What is the dimensional distance? That is, an height of this solid body is 30 mm. Where it is exactly given, if you look at the section view, the dimensions is clearly explained. That is 30 mm. So mention 30 mm in this portions, form a solid body. Afterwards, I am going to change the appearance to make it much better from this representations. So select a front plane now. Draw one circular profile. What is the use of the circular profile? Look at it. Once it is drawn, then assign the dimensions. In this 2D drawing, we see in the dimensions is nothing but 70 mm of radius or profile. So using that, I am just given a 140 mm of circular profile. Relate to this origin, I am constraining it vertically. Then select the circle as well as the horizontal edges to make it into a tangential constraints. Then exit the sketch right now. Using this circular profile, we can able to create a pocket. But if you use an extrude cut, within the profile only, we can able to cut this solid body. Not like that. Just to select flip side to cut, we can able to eliminate the outermost portions of for this solid region. Now we are going to draw rest of the circular profiles at the side portions. Before that, I am going to assign a fillet. Choose this tangential edges, form a fillet of 3 mm of radius. Then select a front plane, create a new sketch, draw one simple circular profile. It is from the end point. So let's draw one vertical center line connecting both the origin point as well as the top end point. Then give the vertical dimensions of 13 mm. Once it is given, what is the dimensional value? It is 13 mm. If you look at this front view, it is clearly explained in detail. Afterwards, the diameter value is nothing but 26 mm. Look at the bracket. Here we have the dimensional value of 26 mm diameter. Exit the sketch. Form a solid body. What is the distance for this area? If you look at this bottom circular edges, it is nothing but the diameter of 44 mm. We need to tangentially relate to this circular profile itself. That's why I'm just given a 44 mm of diameter, 44 mm of depth to create a height. Also use the fillet formations to form a fillet of 3 mm of radius. Next, let's create a new plane at the distance of 30 mm to draw a circular profile. So select a top plane, go to reference geometry, plane sections. At the distance of 30 mm, create a new plane. Now select a plane profile. Draw one simple circle. Concentric to its each other from the center point of two opposite circular profile. Once it is drawn, selecting a two opposite circular profile, then give the dimensions. The outermost circle have the dimensions of 28 mm of diameter. The 22 mm dimension is nothing but the pocket. If you want to draw and create a solid body, you need to make a 28 mm of diameter. Once it is given, just to relate to this another circular profile, we can able to assign the dimensions. Now select a two opposite circular profile, holding your control button, then give an equal constraints. Exit the sketch right now. Afterwards, form a solid body. Using extrude boards, neither we can create or use a through wall type, or we can simply choose up to next to create a solid body. Using up to next, we can easily make a solid body opposite to the sections. Okay, let's form a shell features. So choose a shell. What is the thickness value? It is 3 mm of thickness value. So mention 3 mm of thickness. Show preview. Select this bottom faces and create a pocket. Now the shell is created. It is clearly explained about this faces formations. Select the top face again and draw a simple circular profile. It is nothing but the diameter of 22 mm of diameter. First make it into an equal constraints. Afterwards select the smart dimensions. Then assign the dimension value of 22 mm. Exit the sketch right now. Then form a pocket. Use an extruder cut to create a pocket. Now select these faces. Either we can pick a face or we can simply choose a front line to draw a circle profile, create a pocket. Throughout the solid body, we only use a circle profile to create this solid features. None of the line profiles are created, but using this only we can able to make a different types of a features tangentially. Now form a pocket. If you want to use the fillet formations, you can also use the fillet formations. Select all sharp edges and create a tangential connections. Within the 3 mm of radius, I am just simply make that. Either we can create an innermost section also. If you want to create a shell features at the right hand, go to this previous features and select another opposite circular edges at the right end. Okay. Exit this sketch right now. The body is created. Thank you.